behavior wasn't reduced. They were as defensive as the bees in Africa.
When some of these bees escaped quarantine in 1957, they began breeding with local European honeybees. They quickly multiplied and extended their range throughout South and Central America at a rate greater than 200 miles per year. In the past 15 years, killer bees began invading North America. Africanized bees have been known to respond viciously to everyday occurrences, like sudden noise or vibration from a car or lawnmower. It often comes down to just being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
They will be provoked by something as simple as our breath, carbon dioxide, as we exhale. And that's why they get up around the face and the nose. And so you get stung there, and now there's alarm pheromone there. And so more bees will sting there. And unless you run and get away from there, it can get pretty extreme fairly quickly.
Their danger lies in numbers. Normal bees will send a few guards to chase you away from the hive if you get too close. But killer bees will send nearly the whole hive to defend their home and their queen. Though their venom is no more potent than that of native honeybees, Africanized bees attack in swarms or as a collective in far greater numbers. So when stung hundreds of times, the venom can kill. Once disturbed, they remain angry for 24 hours or longer.
They not only attack with such numbers, but they will chase a person for 2 miles or more. They even killed a fella in California. He got attacked in his home. He jumped into the swimming pool. And for 20 minutes, every time he tried to come up and breathe, they stung him, finally killed him.
Since 1985, there have been 200 fatalities from killer bee attacks in North America, and hundreds more worldwide. If you come across an angry swarm, it is best to run and seek shelter.
They are the most tenacious warriors I've ever experienced, and they will chase you down until you're dead, and they'll keep stinging you after you're dead.
In the summer of 1998 in Bisbee, Arizona, the largest ever recorded killer bee attack occurred. There was no footage taken of the attack, but through forensic animation and victim eyewitness accounts, it is possible to reconstruct and recreate the details. It all started here, when the owner of this old building in town started getting stung once or twice a day, and finally decided that he had had enough.
Well, this old fella decided he was going to take care of it himself, and he sprayed a little Raid in the hole. Yeah, that was not a good idea. And the bees came out, and he didn't even get stung. He went back in his house, and then he started hearing the screams.
Deborah Strait happened to be driving down Bury Gulch that day, and unfortunately had the window to her car rolled down.
Some bees came in my window, and my solution to bees in the car was to open up the window and let them out. So I rolled down my window, more bees came in. Then I opened the car door so they could find their way out, and so many came in, I thought, you want the car? Take the car. I got out and was just swamped with bees. And I was yelling for help, batting them off, and then I realized this was a killer bee attack, and if I got enough stings, I would die.
We got a call of a woman screaming, running down Bury Gulch. And she was flailing her arms, and I was like, what is that? I stopped my unit to assist her. As soon as I opened up my car door, it was just weird. All of a sudden, I felt myself getting stung, getting hit. I finally realized that I was being overcome by bees.
If you have a bee problem in Arizona, then Reed Booth is the man to call.
My phone was ringing off the hook, and so I raced down there as quick as I could, and it was already pandemonium, like a war zone, literally. It was so surreal because the ambulances were already gone. They stung 17 people, 8 people ended up in the hospital, killed a dog, and by the time that I got there, the streets were silent at Bisbee. Nobody could go outside.
Deborah was one of the 17 survivors and was taken to the local hospital that day, where it was estimated that she had been stung more than 300 times.
When bees attack, not only do your senses shut down and you have no sense about what's going on, and you just will run right out in front of traffic or do things you shouldn't do to get away from them. All you should do is run away as fast as you can. That's all you can do. Get into a car, get into a house, some enclosure if you can, or just run like the devil, because it is like being in the middle of a stinging tornado, a cloud from hell. I mean, they just are the meanest things you've ever imagined, and you can't think. You just cannot think.
Next, it has been called the seventh